I don't know. It just took me about 5 minutes to find the Quizzy moment. Because I kept on spelling the character's name wrong.
So oops to the fuck is Quizzy.
That's it. That's the bit.
Start your sublight engines. It's time for RuPaul's Pod Race, a queer Star Wars podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are blown away by the response to our first episode, and they're so excited to provide you with more absolutely unhinged content. Be starting us off today. I'm Jess. I use they, them pronouns. My TikTok is Kawaii Jessio, and my gender this week is Jango Fett x Dragon Darth Maul AU.
I hate it here on such an undescribable level. I am leaving this podcast immediately.
I forgot
You're like, okay, podcast over.
Okay. Hi, my name is Claudia. My handle on all things is Kaludia says KA. And my pronouns are she, her. My gender of the week is leftist hick Obi-Wan.
I can't with that.
I want to see Obi-Wan on a tractor. That's what I want for the whole Obi-Wan show. Is just him on like a tractor in the woods.
Turn them lights down low.
No. My name's Mel. I use they, them pronouns, and my is at Grunkle Rex on TikTok. And my gender this week is the MILF Sue LeQuain's tits in outfit.
It's what she deserves. It's what she needed. Very powerful of her.
I can't do this.
Her tits were out, and she said, actually, I'm going to wear like clothes that make fucking sense for one goddamn minute. Goodbye.
This is more of a tits in kind of look.
Epic tits in moment.
My name is Ollie. My pronouns are they, them. My on pretty much all social media is Ollie Fresh, which is spelled with a PH. And my gender this week is oppressed Gangnam Style.
I'm upset. I feel like I've been attacked, punched to the gut, maligned.
Please.
I can't deal with this today, Ollie.
I was so worried that Mel was going to use it.
I was so afraid that you were gonna do tits out, Sue.
It's because, honestly, for those of you who don't know, I think Mel and I actually do have the same brain.
We share one brain cell.
Yeah, and we just pass it between whoever's talking at the moment.
It's over Wi-Fi. It's a wireless brain cell. So I guess I'll go last. I'm Noah. I use he, him pronouns. My handle on TikTok is just the Jewish Jedi. And my gender this week is Darth Vader's sexy back to tank shenanigans, which is just gonna be in my brain forever now.
Incarceration. Jail.
I actually love that for you. I can respect you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought about it and I was like, I have to let this out of my mind. I have to say it and give it to the world.
There's something inherently sexy about back to tanks. For those of you who've read the Kanan comics, you know what I'm talking about.
Back to tank Kanan writes.
No. Wait, pause. Depa Balaba in the back to tank.
Period.
MILF of the century.
MILF.
That brings us very much into Bad Batch episode 2, Cut and Run. Where it's MILF City.
That's the planet they're on, actually. They went to MILF City for this episode.
Is Wrecker a MILF?
Is Wrecker a
No,
MILF?
hold on.
More likely than you'd think.
MILF Hunter? MILF he, him, lesbian Hunter?
Whoa, pause.
Whoa.
Stop for a second. We've cracked it. Bad Batch is over. The show can finish right where it is. This is everything.
Saying, like last week, I know I made a joke originally as like Hunter's a he, him lesbian because that's the energy I get from him. But like the more I think about it, I'm like, no, I do actually feel like that's true. And I'm very strong on the idea now. I've got it with an iron fist. Hunter is a he, him lesbian MILF. And I'm dying on that hill. Thank you all so much for tuning in. No, I'm kidding, but
we're done here. Yeah, we can be finished for the day, actually.
To Cut Law Queen. Congratulations, sir. I would also desert for that woman. The design glow up on Sue and all of that. I was like, yeah, I get it, man. Like years of programming, training on Kamino, whatever. He saw her for 1 second and he was like, time to go into hiding and desert from the Republic Army. And you know what? Valid, completely valid. I completely get it.
I heard her
Yeah.
talk and I was like, I feel like I would tell her all my secrets over a campfire. Like, I feel like we would like, I feel like I'd be like, she's like, let it out. It's okay. I'm a great listener. Like, I feel like that's like the energy I got from her. Like, I know we talk a lot about MILFs. However, she has like actual mom energy. Like, she's not just like hot older lady. She's like genuinely like mom. Like, people I would die for, Sue. I would also kill for her, but that's unrelated. That's beside the point.
I love that Cut fell down the clone trooper to DILF pipeline. I think that was very important for him. This episode, his redesign with the little like gray patch was very, very good to me.
Very here for
Emotionally.
that. Yeah.
I will
Loved that.
say his sideburns, he's really got to work on that. He wants what Callus
Yeah.
has.
It had
Dumb.
it had like Mutton Chops vibes, but not like callous, like really tamed Mutton Chops. They were kind of little
Honestly,
something.
Callus is the Ashla. He's the good side of the Force of Mutton Chops, and Cut LaQuaine is the dark side of the Force with Mutton
We
Chops.
can't keep doing this.
I feel like maybe
We
I feel like Zeb is the Bendu.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, you're kind of right about that though. Because I saw
Period.
those sideburns on Cut and I was like, someone help him. Someone get a razor to this man immediately.
Just
like
Sue,
I know
help
that
your
not all the
husband,
clone designs are
please.
supposed to be hot. I know not all the clones are supposed to be attractive, but I saw that and I was like, someone deliberately made him ugly, and I'm upset about that. I want someone to deal with that at Lucasfilm.
They knew that if they made Cut LaQuaine too hot, that all of us would just die.
We'd be like
Fair.
We'd be like, Hunter who? I only care about Cut. Like
We
this
would
is
actively be like, so
fair.
they should stay here. I want to see more of this man and this man only. That okay, when Rex eventually gets on the show, that's gonna happen. That's my prediction for the Bad Batch. Rex is gonna show up and we're like, so this is his show now. I don't care about the rest of this is my man, my
Want to
icon.
see my little boy.
As TikTok user Grunkle Rex, I am so excited to see the uncleification of Rex. Like there are no words in the English language to describe how excited I am to see that man, that broken, beautiful boy, enter his uncle
I would
era.
just like to propose Rex with like a salt and peppery beard. This is what I want from the
I'd
universe.
pass
It's
away.
that is
manifesting.
pencil scratch. In case you guys didn't know, we were all talking last night and we were looking at Tumblr user Pencil Scratchin's zine. There's some supreme Rex with a salt and pepper beard
Powerful.
art in there.
Tumblr user Pencil Scratchin. You may know this person as the person who holds Din Luke fandom on their shoulders. One of the preeminent people, but they also draw a lot of other good stuff, namely Salt and Pepper Rex.
Not us pitching their zine. This is our first unpaid ad.
So
Literally.
that immaculate Cody Wan art.
Period.
Chef's
They
kiss.
really are feeding us. There are so many crumbs in there too of like rare ships. Like there was one they had of like Kit Fisto and Mace Windu, and I was like, huh? I've never thought about that, but suddenly I'm quite invested. Anyway, to talk about to go back to the episode, I had a short note. Something that I think a lot of Clone Wars fans can relate to is I know that a lot of us have different Clone Wars stories. But I started watching Clone Wars like in 2008 when it came out. And I remember watching as a kid, Cut LaQuaine, like that episode where it is ingrained in my mind. So when I heard like the rumor that Cut LaQuaine was going to come back, it set off such a level of like mental dissonance. And I still like don't really know how to rectify that. I feel like I'm floating. Like they were like, "Oh, hey, Cut." And I was like, "Oh my God, it's 2009. I'm 2 years old. I was not 2 in 2009, but my point stands."
I feel like watching the show now, like, because I also watched it when it came out in 2008 because I was a child. Like watching it now with all of like a lot of the same characters, I'm like, this is weird. Because I'm like, it's not the same show. Like the Bad Batch I think is tonally different from the Clone Wars in a lot of ways. But they keep throwing in recurring characters, and I'm like, ah, yes, my childhood that I'm witnessing as a now 20-year-old man. This isn't weird at all.
It's very I'm different. I got late to the game. But it's very weird because they're talking about these characters that we already know like so casually, which is I mean, we already see that a little bit in Star Wars, but this was so like we'll talk about this a little bit. Like, this was so domestic. Like the Bad Batch comes in and they're like, hey guys, they're like, clearly they've hung out before and whatever. And you're like, wait, they've hung out before? Wait a minute, hold on. And then they're like, oh, Rex was here. And he's like, yeah, he came by, whatever. And I'm like, it's just so like normal about like people who are like a part of this like grand story, whatever, that you like have been with for years at a time. And you're like, what do you mean he stopped by? What do you mean Uncle Wrecker? Or what do you mean? I was like, well, how did they know about Cut? How many times have they been here? Hold on, roll back the clock. Anyways, I just thought it was really domestic and it was a lot for me to process.
Uncle Wrecker really sent me to outer space. Like, I truly felt when they were like Uncle Wrecker, I was like, this is all I wanted. This is all I wanted. This is the only thing. David, thank you so much. And this actually does sort of transition us into the next point, which is the Dave Filoni DILF cinematic universe. And I think like I did make a TikTok about this, I'm sure many people have, is the fact that all 4 shows that Dave Filoni has worked on for Star Wars has the basis of gruff, apprehensive man sees a child and is like, I don't really want to be responsible for all of this. And then 10 minutes later is like, if anyone touched this child, I would kill everyone in the room and then myself.
I find this interesting because as a connoisseur of gruff dad softened by loving child media, I feel like they're kind of speedrunning that dynamic because normally, like, to use an example that I know really well, The Last of Us, which uses the same sort of story mechanic, you take the entire game for Joel to like want to be a dad, which I'm all for, but I feel like Hunter was like, no, I'm getting rid of Omega, it's fine. And then exactly 2 minutes later was like, this is my daughter. If you touch her, I will murder you.
Din did the same thing.
Yeah,
Din did the same thing.
I was like, I feel like Dave Filoni has a lot to process. So he's speedrunning his own issues on his own television shows because Din went from I'm a loner to I'll kill for Grogu. Like in like that, like super quickly.
So did Anakin.
That is
and
valid.
Kanan too.
Yes. That's what I was going to say is I think the other thing too, we do like, yes, Dave Filoni does have one story. However, I also think that the state that Hunter was in is a lot different than the state that all of the other dad figures have been. Because I think Hunter liked Omega. Hunter wanted to keep Omega, but his concern when he was going to leave her with Sue and Cut was that like he cannot provide a life for her that she deserves. And we see that in the beginning when Omega is gets threatened and he's like, what were you doing? What was your point? And Cut was like, hey, what matters is that she's okay. This is a baby, not a soldier. And that was Hunter realizing like, oh, I actually don't know how to raise a child and they will probably be happier here.
But the same thing happens with Grogu on Sorgan. The same thing happens with Kanan and Ezra, where there's times where Kanan is like, I actually don't know a lot about the Jedi. I was so young. I'm not equipped to teach Ezra at all. Like the same thing occurs. Anakin doesn't have that, and that never occurs. But they think that does happen with them, where they're like, I'm not equipped for this. And it's been a while since I've watched Rebels, so I'm forgetting like the circumstances in which Kanan finally is like, all right, you're my son now. If someone could remind me. But I feel like it was definitely a circumstance where he was like, I feel like it was very similar where he was like, fine.
What really, like, I think the point where Kanan really became like Ezra's dad was when he wanted him to be Luminara's Padawan because there were rumors that Luminara was alive, and then they went and Luminara had passed away. And then he was like, okay, well, no one else is going to train this small child, so I guess that's me. And from there, it was sort of a slow process of him saying like, no, I'm ride or die for this child.
I also agree with Ollie because like, no, oh my God. I think part of it
No.
too, that like an element of like the gruff dad storyline that sort of takes me out of it with Hunter and Omega is a key element of that is that the child is thrust upon the gruff dad, whereas Hunter actively chooses to go back for Omega. Like this is what he wanted to do, but Ollie's right that like he wasn't like, ew, children. He was like, I can't be a good enough parent to this child. Otherwise, I totally
Din.
would.
He
Well, but see, that's also
chooses.
why I'm like, I don't think Anakin really fits that. Also, because I would never classify Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon in the gruff dad that has a heart of gold stereotype. Like, they're already both really open-hearted people. I don't know if that really fits the narrative, but at least with Omega, like Hunter's choice to go back for them, I feel like solidifies the relationship a lot more. Also, can we just talk about Omega seeing dirt for the first time? Possibly off
tangled
topic.
girl.
It was
so
so
good.
So cute. So
Oh.
adorable. Omega confirmed bug
Bro.
girl.
When they came off the ship, saw the sun for the first time because Camino is a rainy place, it's just like, whoa.
Guys,
I-
it was
I
giving me
have-
it was giving me Rey seeing green for the first time.
Yes.
Oh, and then
yeah.
when she shot the gun earlier, and or when she was like, oh, the whatever, it was just like Rey with Han when he's like, how can you shoot this? And she's like, I'll figure it out, whatever. I was like, oh my god, I hate it here. Oh my god.
I do have an unfortunate, like, just a moment. This is totally separate, but it does involve this. I read a Cody fic one time where Cody was like, I've never seen the ocean, but like he makes me think of the ocean. And it was so cute. And then in the next chapter, the next chapter was Rex being like, Cody, you're so stupid. You grew up on an ocean planet.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say, isn't Cody?
fantastic.
And Cody was like, I'm so sorry, I was so tired. And the author in the end was like, I realized I made a mistake after writing it, but I still wanted to post it. And I was like, that is actually so funny. And I think about it all the time. Anyway, let's talk about the dirt child. I think
Just
Omega's
want to say
very
that
cool.
author's valid.
I just want to talk about, as the Resident Tangled series stand on this podcast, I just want to talk about how Omega having her little tangled moment, and my mind, it just went on overdrive. I was like, oh my god, like I was like, like every frame of both Tangled and Tangled the series like went through my brain, and I was like, oh wow, she really is like and because she's a magical child, I was like, I can't do this. Like I was passing away. I was physically and it's also, it is Disney, and like I'm sure they did do it a little bit on purpose, to be fair. Like anyways, it's very important to me.
They definitely wanted to have like a humanizing this child moment. I think they really hit the nail on the head with that. Also, the animation of the animation in that scene of the dirt and the sun going through the dirt, primo.
Crisp.
Hi, it's Melon Post. At this point in the recording, Noah got dropped from the call because his internet decided to shit the bed. So we had to, regroup, have our little moment. But we came back and we talked a little bit about Bad Batch fashion. So enjoy. And we're back talking about epic Wrecker poncho moment.
Yes, epic Wrecker poncho moment. Something that I know that I have been very excited about since watching the trailer for the Bad Batch is the fun little green moment that Hunter was wearing like in the trailers. And when I saw him wearing that, I was like, I felt like I'd been hit by a bus. And then I saw Wrecker wearing his poncho and I felt like I got hit by a train. I just wanted to say, I think we do need to review the fashion really quick. I think 10 out of 10 for both.
saying, this follows in what I said last episode, that they are magical girls. Because what is one thing about Sailor Moon? When they are not wearing their outfits, they are in some fashion, some 90s fashion. I don't know why I said fashion. Like they're in some fashion in their regular everyday outfits. And so twice now we have seen the Bad Batch out of their little battle outfits in other little getups. And they like, that's all I'm saying. It's proving my fucking point. Okay.
Can we have a Mel lore drop real quick? And can I just confess I've never seen an episode of Sailor Moon. I know nothing about Sailor Moon. So I'm just like, yes, get it.
Oh my
Totally,
god,
absolutely
so
100%.
true, bestie. Because I also have not seen an episode of Sailor Moon.
I have seen Sailor Moon though. I'm wearing a Sailor Moon shirt right now.
I've seen like 2 episodes of Sailor Moon, but I know what a Magical Girl anime is because it's just the anime version of a 5-man band. They're the same thing.
Correct.
Okay, Jess, we can discuss. I discussed this on Twitter earlier since we're talking about Sailor Moon and how I believe that the Bad Batch is Sailor Moon. There was a little moment in this episode where what's her name? Omega, where Omega like takes off her little crown thing and holds it and whatever, and somebody on Twitter was like, "Oh, she's like Sailor Moon," and I was like, "No, listen, if we're doing this." She is Sailor Mini Moon. She's Chibiusa, obviously. This makes Hunter Sailor Moon, which also works because of the headband, and also because he's a young reluctant dad. It works completely. And so then as we go down the line, we have Crosshair, who is Sailor Mars, who is always at odds with Hunter, as an archer. If those of you who know the Sailor Moon lore, you do know that is one of Sailor Mars's attacks.
Yes.
Sailor Jupiter, the tank, that's Wrecker. Sailor Mercury, the techie one, obviously that's Tech. And then Sailor Venus, who is the one who actually has like a whole separate life before now and who is just like here to vibe, and that's Echo. Then if we want to go outer Senshi, Sailor Pluto is Cut Lockwain, because that's the one who is really good with children and has been isolated for some time, and this is where Ollie and Mel,
I do know who
really
these
gonna love it.
characters are.
You are. Haruka and Michiru are Rex and Saw, okay?
Period.
The lesbians, yeah.
We're here pushing Rexaw rights again.
But
Which
this is
I actually feel like is a not, I don't know.
it's a good
Anyway.
shit.
Wait.
No, my question for Jess is which one is which?
I'd say that Saw would have to be Uranus.
Haruka?
Yeah, Haruka.
Yeah.
Because
But Rex is a He They icon. Just like Haruka
that's
is an-
true.
is an,
Frick.
is an NB icon. That's why I said Rex was Sailor Uranus.
I just feel like Haruka's more assertive, and so is Saw. So
So happy you guys are having fun.
Anyways,
I don't know what
anyways,
is going on.
Anyways,
I think
it's fucking rock solid. Anyway, keep
either
going.
way, wait, Claudia, who's
Who's
Saturn
Mamoru?
then?
Who is Mamoru?
Yeah.
And who is Saturn? We know there will be other child characters introduced. This is going to be an ongoing thing that I will
This
put
is
in on.
Fennec Shand Erasure. This
Fennec-
is Fennec Shand Erasure. I don't know anything
No, wait,
fucking
no,
about Sailor Moon, but Fennec Shand, my wife.
wait.
She
Oh,
hasn't
wait.
been in a single episode yet, and we can't
Wait,
assign her a
She's
sailor.
Luna. She's Luna. She's the cat. She's
That's
the cat.
so rude. You
No,
can't.
it's not.
How dare you do this to her? Fennec Shand
Okay,
is not-
Fennec
This is
Shand
so
is
essential, though. You don't
Okay,
understand.
guys, this sounds horrible. Okay,
So here's
no.
why I said Fennec is the cat. Here's why. Because
I
she is
can't with this.
she's
I really
essential.
can't.
She's essential. She's going to be the one brain cell on the team. Like
You that Hunter has a lot of brain cells, so do all of them. You're
No,
gonna
they
come for
don't.
Echo and what is what?
all of them? Where are Wrecker's brain cells, Ollie?
Okay, no,
Where
but
are
Wrecker
Wrecker's
has a
brain
collective brain cell. Like he's like
Wait,
he
wait,
has
wait.
brain cells by proxy.
That's true. Claudia, I love you, but you have hijacked our Star Wars podcast into a Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
our
We
fashion
do need to
review.
talk about fashion review.
We have never seen Sailor Moon.
The fact that there's 2 people here who've seen Sailor Moon, and honestly, the only thing I knew about it was that there were lesbians that were cousins in America. Which,
hated
like,
that for
I
them.
didn't
so-
fucking know that.
yeah, and you know what?
Uh,
Honestly, I wish I didn't. So let's go on. Everyone quickly, we're gonna go around speed round. How are we rating the outfits?
11 out of 10. I loved. They were a little bit fruity, and I think that's important.
Yes.
I think that it means I think it's very powerful that Ahsoka and Hunter both have a fruity little jumpsuit moment. And I respect that.
That's lesbian moment.
Lesbian Hunter confirmed. He, him, lesbian
Yes,
Hunter confirmed.
there we go.
I would say 7 out of 10 because we just haven't seen enough of their non-armor outfits, and I want to see more. What I've seen so far is good, but I want to see more. I want to see more variety. The poncho was so good. It was so in canon. I was like, oh, it's giving me Luke Skywalker. It's giving me Rey. It's giving me everything. So I would say 7 out of 10. I want to be able to judge it with context.
I give their outfits, at least for this episode, like a solid 9 out of 10. They're very like powerful, kind of gave me like country, almost cottagecore queer vibes. I don't know.
Cottagecore lesbian Hunter. I think for me, I would say Hunter's outfit 9 out of 10. I would just like to see more of it. For Wrecker, 11 out of 10. Anakin in Attack of the Clones wants what Wrecker has for that disguise.
Yes.
So let's we have just a couple more points about this. And I did want to say, we were talking about, what's going to happen in the next episode. They're referencing Rex, so that's like, okay, we're going to start to see more clone characters that we know, which brings us to the Mephisto of the Bad Batch, which is Cody.
I think Jess should talk about this because they do have a series on TikTok now.
Yes.
Oh, yes, my Cody
Take it away.
watch.
Yes, Cody watch.
It's really sad because we've gotten Rex crumbs, and we already know Rex is gonna be there, but where is Cody? Where is this man? We last saw him almost killing Obi-Wan, and then we never saw him again. And I'm just, where is this man? I need to know he's safe.
Do we think that Cody thinks he killed Obi-Wan?
Yes.
Because I'm realizing now, like, so on Utapau, like, Cody orders the troops to shoot Obi-Wan down, right? But Obi-Wan also sent out the message from the Jedi Temple. So the question is, because it was sent, like, I think it was sent, like, via Jedi holocron. I'm still not sure how that works because they change it in everything. But so, like, would only Jedi be able to get that message? And I think everyone else thinks that Obi-Wan is dead. Like, Rex thinks Obi-Wan is dead in Rebels, so all of them do. That's just my question.
I would think that I don't think, because has everyone here either played or seen Fallen Order, like the game?
Yes.
I know a bit about it.
Because Sarah in that game has a holocron that has Obi's message on it, and I'm like, how did you get this? Like, I don't understand if it's like a secret holocron like channel, but like it's there. Mel, do you have anything to add to this? Because I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Is it AM radio?
Kind of. So I recently read A New Dawn, and this is kind of discussed in it. So Jedi holocrons are almost like a radio. Or can be used like a radio. So Obi-Wan, there was originally a message that was like, come back to the Jedi Temple, besties, like, come get murdered. But Obi-Wan was like, no, don't do that. But it was because like not even a year, like a few months earlier, Kanan had been like, hey, I know that there's like this comeback beacon. Why can we like set up a go away beacon? And Obi-Wan's like, oh, that's sick, and then does it. So there's that lore drop
I
for you.
forgot about that.
Okay,
I
so in that
forgot
case,
about
though, I don't think Cody would know that Obi-Wan's alive because that would mean non-Jedi aren't getting that message.
I think canonically everyone thinks that Obi-Wan died either in Order 66 or on Mustafar. That's the question I think I have is like, does everyone think that something, like, obviously I think they don't know Anakin survived. Like, I think there's still so much question of like what happened with Anakin, but people just assume he's dead. My question is, does the galaxy think that Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi died in Order 66, or do they think that they died in a confrontation that they had on Mustafar? Like, what does the galaxy know about the last, like, 5 minutes of Anakin Skywalker's moment?
I know a little bit about this because of the Vader comics, like, and I believe some of the, like, later, like, bloodline and shit like that. They weren't that famous. Like, I think it, like, I believe when people like have mentioned Anakin in the past, they've been like, oh, the old war hero, like he's dead. And that's all they know. And Obi-Wan, I want to say, but I might be making this up in my head. So, someone mansplain to me or something, on Twitter or something. I want to say that like Sheev or whatever is like, oh yeah, and that traitor Obi-Wan is dead or whatever the hell. But my opinion on Cody though is that even with the chip, even whatever, he knows Obi-Wan well enough to be like, yeah, if I didn't see that man go, he's not dead. I don't know. I think everybody thinks he's dead, but I think he is not positive that he killed him. So.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. What I was going to add on is that from my knowledge, I don't remember, I can't cite my source here, but I do know for a fact that they did blame the Jedi Temple massacre, like the younglings, on Anakin. That they were like, oh my God, like he did this to all their young people, like they're so fucked up. Which, like, yeah, but also, who was in charge of him telling him to go do that? Yeah, I also just love the idea of like fucking all these Jedi, like fucking, dying in a passion. And then just like some dorky ass man in a big ass suit, 6'6", just shows up. And they're like, oh, this guy is totally normal and not a fucking villain. Jesus Christ. He seems cool.
That's like, okay, I don't even like want to think about the fact that like how did the entire Republic not be like, hey, something's kind of off about this Palpatine guy, when he was like, I think we're gonna have an empire and this is my boy Lord Vader. Like, I'm sorry, but the other thing I wanted to add is that at the end of Revenge of the Sith,
through 2020. Did you live through it?
No, I actually blacked out for the entirety of 2020. But my point is that at the end of Revenge of the Sith, they shoot Obi-Wan down, and I think it's Cody, but it could have been I'm pretty sure it's Cody. It could have been another member of the 212th.
I just watched Revenge of the Sith recently. It is Cody.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Live fact checking. But it's Cody is like, where's his body? Did we find him? Like after they shoot him down, when Obi-Wan's trying to like sneak off of Utapau, they're like, where's his body? What happened? We need to find him. So I think that it's right to say the assumption is Cody probably thinks that he knows he shot him down. He knows it turned against him, but I do think he probably still does think like,
I just had a horrible thought.
Oh Lord.
Oh no. You know how we have Crosshair being like kind of obsessed with the fact that he let the Jedi go? Oh no. Oh, Cody. Oh no. What if I'm passing away?
Are you suggesting that Cody becomes obsessed with trying to find out if he really killed Obi-Wan, almost like some weird Maul obsession?
Yes. Cody is the new Maul.
No.
Cody, oh my God, Cody-Wan is just blessed.
Like Cody as a purge trooper. So we have that to look forward to as an idea of him being the one to hunt other Jedi down.
Okay,
I can't do this right now, besties.
This is my new working theory, because we have three clones right now who will have this kind of weird situation going on. We have fucking Crosshair, because fuck that dude. Sorry, this is not Crosshair slander. He basically got Winter Soldiered. Anyways, Crosshair, Cody, and then also I believe he's Captain Gray now, because in the Kanan comics they send him, who he's actually two people, but that's not important. They send them after that little boy. So I'm just saying, Cody, Crosshair, and Gray as like a little first Death Trooper squad.
Wait.
So possible.
Wait. I'm putting the pieces together. Okay, so sometimes I go through Wikipedia and have a good time. As we know, the Bad Batch is Clone Force 99. However, in the Empire, there is a trooper force. They're an elite force 99. Obviously, they're not made out of clones. As as I've been thinking about it, whatever, I'm like, clearly the Bad Batch defects and whatever. This was even before the show started. I was like, clearly the Bad Batch defects and there's something happens, whatever. But the Force 99 of being a special force probably stays, kind of like how Rogue One or the Rogue Squadron stays a squadron. I'm sure it stays and it becomes like a special squadron. All of them in the chat are going, no. I'm just saying is that they become a special squadron. I'm saying, yeah, the evil batch. It's like, as I said before, it is like Wings Club. They're the witches. They're the witches from the other school.
The good, the bad, and the batch.
Yes.
Why did we podcast that? That's a fantastic
There's
name.
the episode title.
Okay.
Can I propose a much more positive theory that I just thought of? That
God, please.
Okay, so here's my thing. Canonically, at present, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't know what happens to Cody yet, right? Like, we have no information on that. So hear me out on this. What if they do manage to de-chip him without killing him, but instead of joining the Rex gang, he just goes out to find Obi-Wan? Like he just leaves to do that.
Oh,
Because,
Feels so bad. Oh my God, all of us are about to unmute and scream.
because that to me was like, I can see this happening because that would explain why he isn't involved with them in Rebels without him being dead. But because I know Dave, if Cody shows up, I am anticipating a sad, rainy fight to the death.
Cody and
Here's my,
Kenobi
like,
series.
Cody and Kenobi series confirmed? No, I have like two minds of that. My first thought is that like, I think that would also make sense is if like Cody comes back, but because he's been under the control of the chip so long and he's had this sort of complex of like, I don't think Obi-Wan's actually dead. Like the idea that he's just not fit for combat. So Rex is like, yeah, you can't like we'll send you somewhere, but you can't join our squad. And then he is searching for Obi-Wan and he goes to Tatooine and then Obi-Wan's his like space therapist / husband. I'm very into that.
You can't sit with us? Cody, you can't sit with us?
I'm so sorry, Cody. You can't be a part of our boy boss group. You need to leave. My other thought too is that, and I will take every single opportunity I can bring this up, is the scene in Rebels where Rex has like a war flashback in the episode.
Oh my God, why did I know you were going to bring this up?
Oh my God, what is the episode called? It's called like The Last something, but it's the one where they're fighting the droids. And Rex
Where
has
they
a flashback.
finally ended the Clone Wars?
Yes.
The last battle? The last...
Yeah, something. But
something?
Rex has a flashback and Kanan is like, Rex, and he's like, Cody? And he calls Kanan Cody. That lives in my mind constantly. First of all, because I'm like, oh my God, Kanan fills that. No, let me finish. Kanan fills that Cody role for Rex. He's like a brother figure to him. But my other thought too is that like, there's so many reasons why I think about that. So I'm like, obviously Cody isn't alive. I'm sorry, I have to say it. We have to prepare. I don't think Cody's alive during Rebels timeline because I fully 100% believe with the amount of references that Rex makes to Cody, it is inconceivable that he would not, at the very least, like call him or mention him, or at the very most, like have him living with him and Wolf and Gregor in their little safe house. Like that, it doesn't make sense that Cody would be alive and he wouldn't be with them.
Get out.
May I present the sadder version of this that I just thought about?
I can't deal with this. I'm going to start crying.
Hear me out on this though, because if Cody goes down the hot clone to Purge Trooper pipeline and ends up hunting at Obi-Wan, what if he does find him on Tatooine and his last moments after Obi-Wan has to strike him down and he has like a moment of clarity?
Maul moment.
Yeah.
Cody's just good Maul.
There. But also, here's the thing. If Cody's dead in the Rebels timeline, I'm honestly not going to lie, that could be for a number of reasons that aren't super malicious because a lot of time has passed by then. Like, for all we know, Cody just, like, got tired and went home. Like, I don't know how it's going to happen because I don't want to see this man die. He is arguably one of my favorite clones of all time. But I do feel like I want him to just, like, find Obi-Wan. Hold on. So we're just... Mel just put something in the chat.
Mel, you need to cool it with this chat because our listeners can't see it, but Mel did just put it in the chat. Obi-Wan just has a graveyard of boyfriends on Tatooine.
Stop. Oh,
can't do this.
And they're in a row. They're labeled.
He's like, he has one marked. He's like, if only Satine had been here.
Wait,
No.
guys, I just had a horrible sad thought. No. I hate you guys for making me have these sad thoughts. So you guys said like, oh, what if Cody Purge Trooper comes get him in Tatooine? What if he's not assigned to go get Obi-Wan because nobody knows Obi-Wan's there? What if I see it all on your faces. What if he's assigned to go get Luke? What if somebody has started to Kenobi series, call me. What if somebody has started to figure out something? Because this kid just named fucking Skywalker. What if he's assigned to go, like, there's some like special forces troopers who are supposed to go get this boy, go get him, whatever.
Are you pausing Inquisitor Cody?
No, not Inquisitor. I'm just saying, like,
he just
like
works with them.
No, or he works with the Inquisitors or whatever. Or maybe like sending the Inquisitors would be a little too conspicuous, I think. Like that they send like a special force to go take out this fucking baby or whatever, and that like Obi-Wan has to
This actually, not gonna lie, that would line up pretty well with Obi-Wan's role as like Luke's protector for a long portion of both, like, of all his extended stories. That's generally where he ends up, as like the protector of Luke and his family that Luke's family fucking hates. And I'm not gonna lie, that could be a very convincing moment to have happen, is like old friend Cody / boyfriend, I have to murder him to protect this child. And then Owen is like, I hate you and you're stupid. And just leave it at that.
This is something. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Jess, what were you gonna say? Because I was gonna.
I can't do this right now. I'm gonna cry.
I think leave it to 5 gay people to somehow have like a 30-minute conversation about Commander Cody. That is like.
He threw the first brick at Stonewall.
Honestly, broke his Tarkin through the first brick at Stonewall. Woke his Commander Cody through the first brick at Stonewall.
People who make fan art and write fan fiction and listen to our podcast, if you could maybe, I don't know, whip something up along any of these lines, I would be deeply appreciative. I would love to see
manifest that, but I'll also sue if you do that to me.
So I feel like we've spent so much time talking about Cody because we do love him, but we do have other things we wanted to cover. The first one is a correction we have from the last episode. We were trying to figure out who the triad in the Force is between Saw, Satine, and Maul. And we fell into the Disney anti-radical agenda by saying that I think Maul is obviously the dark side. He is the Bogan. And we felt like, oh, Satine is the light and Saw is the Bendu. But Satine is the Bendu and Saw is the light. He's the Ashla. Thoughts?
There it is.
This is a Saw Gerrera Stan podcast, just like to be clear. I wanted to put that out there. If you come for me anywhere being like Saw's too radical, I'll fight you. Physically in a parking lot of McDonald's. I don't care where it is, but I'll do it.
Saw Gerrera has never done anything wrong in his life.
Literally. Say it again to people in the back.
I was saying this, I think Mel and I were talking about it, and I think it was like in our Discord chat, so I think you guys may have seen it. But we are going to go back to Onderon, right? In the Bad Batch.
Oh yeah.
So for those of you who have not so for those of you who have not watched Rebels, I am so prepared to be so pissed off because in Rebels, one of the characters, Callus, who does turn to the light side, he comes to rebellion. He leaves the Empire. Jedi Callus confirmed. No.
Callus confirmed.
Well, he's Force sensitive. Okay, I can't with this. I can't bring it up again.
His baby will be.
His Force sensitive baby.
No.
Let me. Okay.
Back on track.
I need to get back on track because this is actually quite upsetting. I am thinking that in Rebels, there's an episode where Zeb and Callus are talking, and Callus is like, one of the reasons that I hate Lasat, who is the alien race that Zeb is because a Lasat that was a part of Saw Gerrera's team like killed my entire squad when I was with the Empire, and he just like killed them in cold blood. I am so afraid that we are going to see that Lasat or see young Callus and have everyone be like, Saw sucks because he messed with my sweet baby Callus. And I'm like, I love Callus. Callus is one of my favorite characters because I think his story is so compelling. He was also very much a fascie. So I'm saying we must prepare.
Please don't manifest this. Please. I already have to defend Saw Gerrera from slander every day. Like, please don't manifest this.
And I will, the other correction that we have is we were trying to come up with a, we have male wife, we have a mansplain, manipulate male wife, and gaslight, gatekeep girl boss. The one for the non-binary, for those who may not conform, threaten, throw down, thembo. How do we feel about that?
Powerful, important, completely not ever been done before, iconic, amazing. Other Lady Gaga adjectives.
Oh my gosh. And I think there's some other stuff we had wanted to talk about. There's another thing that, and a note that Mel has.
Tarkin Watch. Tarkin Watch.
I can't with Tarkin Watch.
Hey, remember, think before you speak. Is it Tarkin? Be quiet then. Is it Will of Tarkin? Be quiet then.
The descent of Star Wars TikTok into talking about this elderly queer fascist has just been so damaging to my psyche and emotional state, because every day I log on and I think I'm gonna have to go through more of this, and it keeps happening.
I just have one more note and then we will move on. But my dad did tell me that he watched The Bad Batch. He's seen a lot of Clone Wars, but not all of it. But he did tell me that he watched The Bad Batch. And I was sitting in my chair shaking, trying to be like, don't say Tarkin is gay. Don't tell him about how Tarkin is gay. Don't talk about Crossfire. Don't talk about it. Just don't. I didn't. I'm proud of myself. But the fact that all of you people had to make me sit there, not all of you, but most of you, have me sitting there like, I'm about to tell my boomer father that Tarkin is a homosexual and homophobic, and I don't think he's ready to deal with that.
You're welcome. You underestimate my power. Like, I did this. I said this before. It is direct action. It's direct action because Disney wanted to say, but it's all Bad Batch all the time. We're marketing, we're ramping up our advertising for our streaming service, whatever. And I said, no, I will be derailing us in the most cursed way possible. And it worked. And I think that's direct action. So.
Yeah, I like how Ollie was like, I'm going to blame you guys for Tarkin talk when we all know whose fault it is. Claudia.
I just want to say that I'm pretty sure my best friends want to destroy me because I don't have that filter that Ollie has, and every time we're in Discord calls together I somehow will bring up Tarkin being gay lately.
I've never been so proud.
Okay, first of all, same, Jess, absolutely. I recently watched the first episode of The Bad Batch with my best childhood friend. I've known him since we were literally 5 years old, and we talked almost the entire time about how Tarkin fucked a stormtrooper and probably wants to fuck Crosshair. Anyways, I would just like to say my Joker moment is being quite literally Cassandra of Troy before the Bad Batch episode kept coming out, saying, hey, wouldn't it be wild if people shipped Crosshair and Tarkin? And then people were like, oh, we already do. And just, there was so much to unpack there, and it is given me, this is my legacy in the worst way possible, and I feel guilty.
I would just like to say that one, I love that you just said Cassandra of Troy as a verb. That was fantastic. And two, y'all are literally out here making the worst possible contributions to Star Wars TikTok and then being like, how did this happen to me? What? I'm so confused. I remember Mel being like, LOL, Crossfire, and now it's everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, reap what you sow. Deal with the consequences.
Can I be serious? Can I be serious for 1 second? Okay. Yes, is Tarkin talk my fault? Absolutely. And now then Crossfire, and now we have Thrall talk and Din Maul talk. There's a lot going on, obviously. However, I just want to say this, fandom in general, not just Star Wars, fandom in general is a horrifying and cursed place, full of just bad shit that happens all the time. And in most online spaces, it's just a hellfire place. And it's not to say that Star Wars TikTok isn't also that, and that doesn't happen all the time. But I will say that I really do love the idea of just keeping the energy of let's keep it fun, let's keep it light by just keeping it cursed all the time, because it really does bring people together. I've seen like everybody from like small TikTokers to large TikTokers, and now I see people on Tumblr and whatever like talking about cursed shit, and I'm like, but it brings people together. Like I don't see people like arguing about lore. Yes, did a ton of people argue about, oh, does the snow make Kanan's skin color lighter
Is the
in my
social
comments?
construct of race? Absolutely no.
We don't have time to unpack all of that. But I will say it was really like there's still all the bad shit, but it is really nice to see people like bond over like, oh, we're not just gonna rehash the same 5 things. We're not just gonna like, you know, be like, we're not just gonna rehash the same old things or talk about lore or, you know, whatever. Like it's like a genuinely like, much like Star Wars, it's a bad good thing where it's like it's bad because it's cursed, but it's good because it's fun. And so anyway, I think we should keep the cursed energy 24/7 in order to save Star Wars. In this essay, I will.
Speaking of cursed, I would like to bring light to maybe the funniest
No.
thing that I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
No.
So this is just important, I think, going forward, in terms of understanding me as a human being and
It's for
understanding
context.
yeah, and understanding this podcast, this world. Sorry, I literally can't keep a straight face like thinking about this. And also the chat is going off right now talking about furry crossfire. I can't do this.
That's
I'm
just
so
Calazep.
sorry.
Please stop.
I had the thought. I was like, I need to send this in the chat immediately.
You mean furry space Destiel?
No, okay. Anyways,
You can't. Okay, everyone who's not Mel, we're gonna play the quiet game, and no one's gonna type anything in the chat or say anything out loud for the next 45 seconds.
okay.
I'm
So in
actually I'm sorry.
In our Discord, I don't know where Ollie found it. I guess just on their desktop. They found just like a picture of a baby echidna, which if you haven't seen a baby echidna, please Google it. It's a very good image.
The reason, so let me add a little context. He is the name of the file that I found saved on my desktop underneath a picture of my cat. And I have a Mac, so you know how it's like I'm a recent like new Mac user, so I don't really know how it works. I'm so used to like Microsoft where it like automatically fixes it. But I had a picture saved underneath a picture of my cats, and it was just called He, and it was a transparent image of a baby echidna. And I was like, we don't have any emotes in our Discord yet, so I put it in, and Mel says, and I quote, respectfully, Ollie, what the fuck is that? And then has continued to send He and react to everything with He for the last, like, what, 24 hours? And it has become an integral part of our personality.
He is genuinely, I will never be the same person again after he.
He is the Omega to our Bad Batch.
Yes, because if I'm the hunter, I brought him in, and now it's like we can't live without him.
And when I slandered he in our first interaction, that was like Crosshair firing at a child.
Stop!
And he will save you, you see.
He is the reason that you're going to stay with us. Like, you're not going to abandon this podcast because of he.
Okay. I better not fucking abandon this podcast. I'm the editor.
I feel like, honestly, without Mel, we would all pass away. Let's go on. We actually, that was a brief interlude. We just had to let you guys know the situation with he because we will not physically be capable of not referencing it.
Let's talk about the curse shit this week.
I'm so sorry. I was thinking this episode was going to be shorter than the first one, and I think we've been recorded for about 34 hours.
It's a little bit under an hour right now, I believe.
Vibes. We're so sexy. I will start the curse thing that I have this week. It was quite upsetting, actually. I had a moment. So for those of you who are just listening and don't follow me on TikTok or don't follow me on Instagram or whatever, you don't know what I look like. I am a white person with short, dark brown hair. And I have like some pretty, like, my eyebrows are, very sparse, but pretty defined shape. And I was looking at an image of everyone's favorite separatist, Lux Bonteri. And I was like, wait a damn minute. Do I look like him? And I was like, that simply can't be the case. I can't look like Lux Bonteri. That is homophobic. That is transphobic. That is a crime. So in my moment of being like, I can't look like him, I was like, what if I Photoshop the facial piercings I have onto him so that I can prove I don't look like him? And the more I did it, I was like, oh shit, I look a lot like Lux Bonteri. We have the same bone structure. And then I was like brainstorming reasons why I think Lux Bonteri kins me, actually. And I think like one of those reasons, we both love Ahsoka. We're both white. We both also love Stila Guerrera. Both of us had both of us had very questionable political beliefs until we were like 14 years old, and then we're like, oh, maybe we should respect other people. So I'm just saying, like, I think he kins me. I think Dave Filoni based Lux Bonteri on me.
Ollie walked so Lux could run.
No. I'm sorry, but the fact that you made me hear the sentence, Lux Bonteri kins me. I am an abolitionist, but jail. Literal federal prison.
I am no longer an abolitionist, actually.
How do you think I felt when I was looking at a picture of Lux Bonteri and was like, this looks just like a selfie I took a couple weeks ago? Honestly, that felt like a hate crime. And now I'm just
that for you.
Thank you, Jess. I'm happy there's one person here who's worried about my well-being.
Like I was already insulted when someone told me that I had Lux Bonteri vibes on my TikTok. So I can't imagine how you feel.
I feel like I simply may have to stop being a fan of Star Wars to get away from this.
Maybe it's good.
Being a Star Wars fan is pretty much for the best in any situation. I feel like being a part of this fan is waking up every day and being like, maybe I'm done now. Maybe I should be over this.
Maybe younger me had a point of not wanting to get into Star Wars.
Past me.
So anyways, let's talk about Thrall.
Don't forget
don't forget about Thrall.
Oh my god,
Listen.
Jess, CEO of Thrall Talk, please take it away.
I'm so proud right now, because me finding out about Thrall, because I think Mel, you were like, I found a Thrawn x Maul fanfic, which I was like, that's so weird. And I just kept thinking about it. And then we fell down that cursed fanfic to Thrall shipper pipeline,
I will add, the other thing I think, when we had discovered Thrall, I think we were watching Mel's live. And the concept behind this Thrall fic was that Maul invited Thrawn to come to his bachelor pad on Dathomir. So we were like, is Thrawn going to see the Satine shrine that he has and be like, now this tells me a lot about you as a person. This might be technically considered art, but I like, what? Huh?
Thrawn goes to Maul's shabby little Dathomir cave bachelor pad and is just like, damn bitch, you live like this.
I hate it here. So much.
I'm really happy.
Those images into my brain on purpose.
I'm really happy because I was like, should I make a TikTok asking for Thrall fan cams? Because Ollie mentioned once that they asked for some kind of fan cam.
Asked for Hondo fan cams. And I will say, I will shout out TikTok user Order66 Fries, because they delivered when I said I wanted a Hondo fan cam. Oh, and when I said I wanted a Thrall fan, when I said I wanted a Thrawn fan cam, I'm pretty sure that they delivered on both. It may have been someone else. I apologize, but Order66 Fries is holding the backbone, is the backbone of the Star Wars fan cam moment.
They're making a Thrall one that should come out soon, and I'm excited. But yeah, me being like, should I make a TikTok asking for Thrall? And Ollie said yeah, so I did, and now Thrall talk is rising. It's very slowly, but it's happening. We've got a couple edits now.
In the darkness of Crossfire, the light comes to meet it. Thrall.
So wait,
listen, yeah.
The fact that I made a TikTok about Thrall and then immediately lost like 3 followers. And I was like, honestly, it's because you guys don't want to see the truth.
They're just cowards, okay?
They're afraid of reality.
They hate red
You
and
were
blue
red
ships.
and I was blue, and together.
Oh my god, honestly, this is
You
just
were
like
red.
this is just like Clance again.
No!
Zuka.
Oh, an episode about bringing Voltron into it.
I'm
Is
so
it
sorry.
possible?
I'm so
Can we
sorry.
get
I
time
did
of,
not.
days without bringing Voltron back from the grave? They haven't constantly set at 0.
Another Mel lore drop. Never saw Voltron either, so I stay winning.
You're so
No.
lucky. I
Me
wish
too,
that was you.
Mel, me too.
I wish that was me.
I have a
I
mutual on TikTok who just voluntarily inflicted it on themselves because they were like, "Oh, I used to be a really big fan in the '80s," and I was like, "We all told you not to do it."
We can't get into Voltron right now. We need to move on.
Move on.
We're so close
Next
to the newest fun segment.
Yes, let us go on. This is a new fun segment that we have lovingly dubbed Name That Ship. So I think what we are going to do, which one wants to go first? Because we do have 2. The general premise of this is that someone is going to find a fan fiction or a cursed ship, and they are going to read the tags, and the other 4 are going to try to guess what the ship is. One of them we actually already know, so I'm not sure if we want to lead with that one or if we want to lead with the other one.
We'll start with the one that we know, just to ease into it.
Yeah. So let's let Jess take it away, and we will all try to not act a fool.
Well, the ship is called A Hunger Sharp and Sweet.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, and without reading the first couple tags, because obviously those are the character relationship tags. Bail Organa, who boy, implied sexual content, mention of fucking.
What's the rating?
This is the M.
I think we should also do the rating. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's an M rating, sorry. Nothing explicit though. An innuendo, swearing, age difference,
No.
force lightning,
Oh no.
No.
parentheses
No.
Star Wars,
what?
alcohol mention, strip tease,
No.
if you squint, freeform, crack.
I hate it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Do we all know what it is already?
I actually
This
don't.
one.
Oh, let's let Noah guess.
So my first guess is just Bail Organa ex Sheev Palpatine. I really want to be wrong about that.
I feel like you're gonna want to wish you were right when you hear what it is.
Okay, my next most cursed guess easily is like Sheev Palpatine ex Jar Jar Binks. It's like the worst thing I could think about with those. Because like, okay, the Force Lightning is tripping me up. I only give 2 characters, and that is Sheev Palpatine and Craig Dooku. But because Bail Organa is there, am I getting warmer here?
Wait, what
It's
about
Jar
Dooku
Jar.
/ Bail?
Worse. Actually, not worse.
Buku?
It's Jar Jar.
Dooku ex Jar Jar.
No.
Nar.
Really? Honestly,
Nar.
okay. I feel like now is the time.
Reveal it, yeah.
What's
Drum
the
roll,
name?
please.
Well, the ship was just, it's Sheev Palpatine / reader.
I wish I was wrong. I wish I was wrong.
Yeah.
I wish that I had gotten it right the first time.
Do you want to
Who is
hear
writing
the summary for the
Palpatine
fic?
ex Reader fanfic.
I would love
Please
to hear
tell
the
us the
summary.
You return to Sheev's opulent quarters after a successful Senate vote, but something from his past taints the victory. April Fool's Day special, the definition of vile. If anyone IRL finds my accounts, this will be the first one to go down. Read while you can.
Here's my question. I feel like the problem too is that it's rated M. So like this
Yeah.
implies that they didn't want to write smut, which is like, are you trying to have an emotional connection with Sheev Palpatine? Like, is the reader trying to be, because I feel like at least with smut, I often think it's gross or don't agree with it or whatever. I can understand like maybe there's something deeply wrong in there, but like I understand that. The idea of wanting to have a self-insert character have a romantic, intimate connection with Sheev Palpatine is so much more upsetting.
Okay, but this is the question.
and I will
This is the
also-
question. Like,
Sorry.
you were saying about an emotional connection. This one is a joke because this one's April Fool's. So the question is, of the other fics in the tag, what are they rated, and do all of them have smut? That will answer your question.
We don't have time to unpack that today.
I don't want to
There's
unpack
12.
that.
I can do it right now because
No, I
I'm scrolling
don't-
through.
I will also posit, this is something that I meant to say at the beginning, but I forgot. None of this is us intending to like make fun of people who write fan fiction or of these fan fictions that we talk about in general. Fan fiction writers are the backbone of society. I just think like, please don't like go find these fics and don't like comment or harass these people. Like they're, even if it's like a questionable ship, we don't have to agree with it, but like just be cool. That's our motto. Be cool. Anyway.
It's kind of like Star Wars as a whole. There are parts of it, whether of stuff or whatever, where it just feels like getting a bat to the head. And it's sometimes like, much like me sharing Tarkin Talk with all of you, it's like, if I had to see this, I just need to share it with others in order to bear this burden. I'm not saying
Trauma
it's
bonding.
necessarily bad. I'm just saying I'm having a hard time digesting this. So I'm going to share it with you all. No hate to the person who made it. But I'm Bestie. I can't do this today. That's the vibe.
Epic
So.
Horatio moment.
I really can't with you.
Almost say like 9 out of these like fics are all explicit reading.
Oh my god,
What
no.
are the other ones?
3 of them do say like joke, kind of like crack.
I'm only here for the unironic ones. I feel like it's so easy to write an ironic, like funny fic. I need to understand the psyche of those who are writing those like seriously.
I also have to know in the Sheev Palpatine category, is this pre-wrinkle or post-wrinkle? Because that informs a lot of my thinking about the people who write these. Like, because Sheev Palpatine pre-wrinkle is not the worst concept in the world, but post-wrinkle, girl,
you are
that
mentally
is
ill.
that is a Sharpay dog. Like, please stop. Put those roles away.
The one I did read the tags to you for, the first one that we brought up was, pre all that bad business. That's Clone Wars, so
pre-windification.
Yeah, pre-windification.
I am simply passing away.
Okay, well, I love this Sheev talk. We do have one other one that only Ollie and I know of.
This one is maybe one of my favorite things of all time, especially because I think the first version, was it translated from another language?
No.
Oh, never mind then.
That was one of the other ones. This is
okay. I'm very excited.
Okay. So here are the tags. Or no, here's the title. Fool's Gambit.
What is the rating?
Mature. And this is what I will tell you about this. It is an OT3, so keep that in mind.
No.
Tags. Angst with a happy ending. Murder spree at the end. Torture. Manipulation. Blackmail. Hurt. Comfort.
Pause. What? Murder spree at the end?
There are so many tags left, please.
Okay.
Maul has to be in this.
Heavy angst. Amputation. Lockdown made me write this. No beta. The night is dark and full of terrors. Alternate universe. Canon divergence. Poly. Everyone is a rebel and everyone is a narc. Trust no one. Murder sprees as therapy. Force choking. Improper use of the force. Using the force to wreck your enemies. Just 2 dudes going on a feral killing spree to save the man they love. Did I mention killing sprees? Crack adjacent.
God, this could
hello?
be so many people. This could be so many people.
Excuse me, what?
Okay.
Wait, can you tell us what era the fic occurs in, or what era the characters are from?
Post prequels, pre-original trilogy. I would say closer to original trilogy. It is featuring a character that I love deeply that we have not seen in live action thus far.
That's maybe the biggest hint.
Callus?
Eli?
Wait.
Eli is one of the characters involved.
You're like, Callus?
Oh no.
Eli
Thrawn Maul?
Eli Thrawn, and there is another.
Wait, is it a guy or girl?
It is a man. and it's not Maul.
I have
okay,
not read
wait.
any of the Thrawn stuff, so I'm actually useless here. But can
You
I
don't
narrow
have to
the
read
focus
Thrawn
based
stuff
on
to know who
Thrawn
this
that?
is.
You have
Is
had
this
to
a
have watched
person-
Rebels.
Is this a person who is already force sensitive?
Yes. And
Hey,
also,
Noah, the face you just made is
Is
sending
it
me-
Ezra?
Grand Inquisitor?
it's Grand Inquisitor,
No.
Thrawn, and Eli. And there is an author in this tag who does call the Grand Inquisitor Quizzy.
What's even better is that's not just. What's better is that that's not even just what like they call him in the notes. That's like what Eli calls him when they're like having like romance. Like there's a part where like he
No,
comes up behind him and is like,
I-
"Hey, Quizzy, what's going on?"
I need to
passing
pass
away.
away now. I'm leaving the Star Wars
I
fandom.
Mel,
am
can you read the
so
summary of the
sad.
fic?
Uncertain of Grand Admiral Thrawn and the Inquisitor's loyalty, the Emperor has come with the ultimate test. Take them from the thing, or in this case, the person they love the most. Not only that, but the Emperor has two former lovers against one another as they desperately attempt to capture the Lothal rebels in order to secure freedom of a captured and tortured Eli Vanto. It's a descent into madness and darkness and compromised morals as Mithron Euroto and the Grand Inquisitor fight against the clock and one another to achieve the results that their Emperor demands.
So they're exes and they're both in love with Eli Vanto. Is that
Okay,
what I'm
this
getting?
This is unironically not terrible.
I'm gonna have to ask you
Get
to.
out.
I'm sending you a cease and desist, Claudia. 'Cause that's actually objectively horrible.
That yeah.
It is. Here's the thing. We see so much cursed shit that like my threshold for cursed is very, very high.
Are you telling me that your threshold for curse does not stop at Eli Vanto x Thrawn x Quizzy? That's not cursed
No,
enough.
I'm saying it is cursed, but it's not as cursed as I've seen before.
What
I
I
would-
think.
I
Listen,
can't deal with
It's
this.
not Leia x Salacious B. Crumb, okay?
but it could be.
I
Listen.
feel like it's similar energy to that. I just every single one of those tags they punch to the face because here's the problem now. Here's the problem that I have thanks to you people. Knowing the pairing and knowing those tags, I almost want to know the context of where they come in.
Let me read just one short
How many
excerpt.
chapters?
There
How
are
many
for
chapters?
this fic. There's currently one, but it's not finished. I just want to read like very quickly just some dialogue. Eli, no! The Inquisitor sat up, bolt straight in bed, panting and sweating hard, clear distress on his features. Thrawn reached over to comfort him, trying to ease the distraught Pawar
No.
in his embrace. What's wrong? Quiz? Are you? Quizzy spoke rapidly, erratically over his admiral. I had a vision, Thrawn. Eli, he's a vision or a dream? A vision. I was there. And Vader, he is with him. The Chiss
Oh.
narrowed his eyes and spoke with intention. As if hold on. As if force of will could make it so. That cannot be. He's stationed with the Chimera back in the mid-rim. No, he isn't there anymore. Quizzy blinked and reached into the force. He's here. No. That's the end of that segment.
I'm sorry. I can't. First of all, my new patented trademarked name for the Grand Inquisitor is Quiznos. That's what I'm putting that as forever. And also, I'm sorry. Everything about that hurt me physically. Like
So
I don't get
wait,
heartburn.
is
I
the
do
name of
now.
that ship Thrizno?
No, I'm
Where's
leaving
Eli
this
in that?
podcast.
Where's Eli and Frisno?
Well, no, Thrizno is just Quiznos and Thrawn.
Is it Thran's nose? Thranto's nose? Thran's
Myth
nose.
quiz.
Is hard to say. It contains the syllable for toes, which I dislike very strongly.
Wait, Mel.
Myth Quizna Eli.
I can't do this
Oh,
right now.
Get out.
I'm so sorry, headphone users.
Anyways, okay, moving on. Let's talk about your secret theory, Ollie, maybe next episode, because we've been here for 80 years.
I do have one theory. I feel like this is short. I could posit this. I unfortunately was hoping that, but this is good though, because we are talking about gay people in Star Wars. A lot of the times, and I think I've noticed this as a Star Wars TikToker, and I think a lot of us have, whenever you say something like Luke Skywalker is gay, everyone comes into your comments. It's like, but what about Mara Jade? So I'm proposing that, as we know, like Jason Syndulla, the name Jason was Han Solo and Leia Organa's son's name in Legends, right? So what I am proposing is that, like Dave referenced that, right? So that was Jason Sandula's name's a reference to that. So I think we need a reference to Mara Jade. And I think that Callus and Zeb should adopt twins. One of them's Mara Jade and the other's Revan. And I'm saying anytime someone tries to gatekeep and they're like, well, Revan wouldn't do that. Revan's so cool. It'll be like, you mean Callus and Zeb's 5-year-old? What is wrong with you? Or when it's like, well, what about Luke Skywalker's gay? What about Mara Jade? You're like, Mara Jade? You mean the child Lasat? What is your problem? And I'm just saying, I think that this is a really good idea.
So not to bring this podcast back to Mpreg Callus.
No, please. If anything, no. In Callus, Zeb is the one who carries the child.
Why did you say that?
Get out.
No.
Did you do that with that much confidence and clarity? You were like,
Not seahorse. Not seahorse.
No.
Zeb.
Seahorse Zeb. I can't take it anymore.
Marsupial.
Well,
Wait, did you say that with confidence? He's a marsupial.
Because it's true.
This is too much, Ollie.
Anyway, I'm just saying Mara Jade and Rebus Callus Aurelios is canon in my book.
maybe you should get rid of that book. Maybe you should stop doing that.
But I'm right. Stop booing me.
Okay, pause. Mara Jade and Revan Aurelios Callus. Those are my Winter Soldier trigger words.
No. Oh my god.
Okay, wait. All I'm gonna say is this. I want this to happen for the sole reason of how much it would piss off certain.
That's what I'm
dudes in this
saying.
fandom.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying it's just so people can't gatekeep. So now if they try to gatekeep, I'll be like, no, Mara Jade's canon, and she is the child.
No,
The
they would
gay
be
furry
like,
couple.
I have to decanonize the Mara Jade.
Can
This is how Dave Filoni is decanonizing.
Can we as a group just start spreading slanderous lies on TikTok? These are real characters.
Yes, we're gaslighting guys, we're gaslighting gatekeeping girl
Put
bossing.
this in the podcast. We can't tell people we're doing this.
Okay,
Yeah,
to be
if
fair,
you
do we
listen
really
to this
think that
podcast-
hold on. Do we think straight gatekeepers are really listening to this podcast?
No.
They read the word.
No.
They saw Roop Helps and they were like, "I'm leaving. I'm out of here." Full tell aneurysm.
I read it as Ray Palpatine, so
Yeah. Here's what I want. If you are listening to this podcast, please just start commenting on random straight Star Wars TikTokers pages that Mara Jade is the child.
You
of
think
the
that
furry
straight
gay
Star
couple.
Wars TikTokers come across my For You page? How would you insult me like this?
Not you.
Disgusting.
You're writing Tarkin talk. You're not valid in terms of being on the straight side, but like I'm guessing that statistically, one person listening to this podcast is somewhere on the in-between of straight Star Wars and gay Star Wars. And if that's where if you're the Bendu of Star Wars TikTok, please start doing this to them.
Yes.
okay, but here's the question. Are we the light side or the dark side?
We're the
We
dark
are the
side.
dark side.
I think we're the dark side because that's more queer coded.
we are the
Yeah.
bogan.
Yes, we are the sexy villains. I love that for
Yeah.
us.
Big Trilla Sandari energy in the chat
I
tonight.
was gonna say
yeah.
something, but then I remembered my picture, and now I'm gonna stop.
Yes, that's the question you always have to think. Is
I
it
just-
Tarkin?
Stop. I just want to say, you got to talk about Mara Jade, whatever. These people slandering in the chat are saying that Tech says bazinga. And
Hey,
We do
listen,
need to talk
listen.
about it. He does have big Sheldon Cooper energy.
this
Yeah.
is the same thing as the person on TikTok who said that Wrecker looked like he would have been there January 6th. How dare you?
No, because
these
Tech
are
saying
not the same.
Bazinga's canon.
No.
That's true.
No.
Yeah.
No, I refuse to believe it.
Claudia, it's
my
4
man
against
would-
1.
My man would never. He would never.
Tech is your man. The white twink of the Bad Batch is your man.
You know what? He's
That's
the
getting
one
it's
like
true.
This is
He can
crosshair
say-
erasure.
They ran out of Django juice when making Tech, and he's your man?
I'm just saying, listen. Insinuating that Wrecker would be at the Capitol riots, cruel, unusual punishment, wrong, slanderous. Saying that Tech says bazinga, correct, valid, true,
No,
has
get
happened.
out.
Already made
Yeah,
a
he
shirt.
would
But,
never.
but here's the thing about Tech saying bazinga. That is not inherently violence. That is not inherently
Yes,
bad.
it is. Yes, it is.
Bazinga is a slur, actually.
Bazinga
so
is
sorry,
a slur.
No tap apology when.
I also already made a shirt with a picture of Tech that says Bazinga. I think we'll have a weekly shirt. Last week it was Callus and Preg shirt. This week it's gonna be a Tech Bazinga Big Bang Theory merch.
Please no.
Listen, hear me out on this, Claudia. I know it hurts to hear the truth, but listen to this. Tech actively was like, didn't you guys know that the chips are the reason we were all being controlled by the
Yes,
Empire?"
exactly.
Like, that is such a Sheldon Cooper moment to be like,
But
I
he
thought it
didn't
was
know the whole
obvious that
time.
no one
He
knew
didn't know
this.
the whole time. He just knew
I think
when
he
they were like,
did.
we gotta find no.
I think
Like
he
it
did.
sounded like he
Time.
did.
No.
Claudia.
So you're saying Omega also says Bazinga?
Yeah, actually,
well-
I would say that. I would say that.
Okay, Omega would hear Tech saying Bazinga and be like, I love that. Gotta keep that up. Like,
Oh my
start-
God.
Yeah.
Omega is co-opting Bazinga.
Mel, what were you gonna say?
What I
If
was gonna say
Omega
is
can copy Hunter, Omega can copy any of the Bad Batch.
Omega is Taskmaster confirmed. Anyways, fucking what I was gonna say is that I do agree with Tech saying Bazinga. That being said, I do think that there's also a line because like Tech has his moments where I'm like, are you neurodivergent coded? And how much is that playing into also the Sheldon Cooperdom of it all?
That's fair.
Into the Sheldon Cooper verse, and one of them is Tech. I'm just saying, in the
Yes.
Sheldon Cooper verse, it's Tech, young Sheldon, and regular Sheldon.
I'm giving him more Entrapta
And Data from Star Trek.
Sheldon Cooper.
Yes, Noah, you're exactly on my shit. I know
No,
we are the
stop.
same mind.
So we have to like make that distinction of like, yes, I do think Tech says Bazinga, but also I don't want that to play too much into like this idea of like this is how neurodivergent people act and all that kind of stuff. That being said, I do
fair.
genuinely believe that Tech does say
I
Bazinga.
viscerally disagree.
Yeah. Echo has, I mean, his muscles must be absolutely destroyed. His brain muscles, he's really got to go relearn a bunch of stuff, and he watches Coco Melon with Record to do so.
I
Yeah.
kind of forgot that he had a scomp link for a hand. So when he was like, go hack that terminal, he just like puts his hand in it. And I was like, no, wait 1 second, please. Like, I actually do though. I want them to explore what that's like for his brain to experience, like actually what that is. Cause I'm like, what would that do to your brain if you're hacking a door by thinking about it? Like, what does it even mean? I want to know.
One of my biggest fears about that whole situation is that I don't know if y'all remember that one episode of Rebels where Chopper gets hacked.
Oh,
Oh
my
God,
God.
Say
No,
that.
it's
Oh
gonna
no,
get
go
no.
manifest that.
Bestie?
Echo is the real Mephisto.
Not to introduce a truly
No,
really
he's
correct
not
sense of this
Mephisto.
template, but if Echo has a scump link and Chopper is a droid,
No,
not a
No,
they could fuck.
no.
not
Get
Checo.
Not Checo!
Echo! No!
Out.
What have I done? This is my legacy.
I will say this. Like okay, now we know Dave Filoni is gonna do it. Now we know he's gonna do it because
He's
he
gonna
put it
do
in the
what?
Universe.
Checo?
No.
No!
No!
Echo getting
Hacked
fucking
Echo!
hacked!
Well, see,
Oh,
here's the thing.
okay,
I
I
am Dave
misunderstood.
Filoni secretly.
Oh.
I've been just my hat is off, and so when my hat's off, I'm just Mel. So I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting, watching. It's gonna happen.
That's so weird because I'm actually the Kathleen Kennedy. I just forgot my wig. So like I feel like Dave, I actually didn't know it was
canceling
you.
both know.
I feel like we have to have a conversation about this after.
I truly do hate it here.
Anyways, time to
That-
go.
I just wanted to bring up because people always forget too that Echo also does have robo legs now. So
Oh my God.
Echo is the Maul of the Bad Batch.
Stop.
Echo, what is Echo if not a Darth Vader allegory?
Literally every single time they put a new fucking character in Star Wars, they're like, what if Darth Vader allegory? They're like, Grievous, what if Darth Vader allegory? Maul, what if Darth Vader allegory?
Well, no, because Grievous is
Gerrera?
sexy and Anakin isn't.
Yeah, but
Grievous is a
that's the whole.
hospital.
Don't
The
make me
therapist.
don't make me do my Maul versus Anakin speech because I can do it.
That's actually I'm okay.
I won't. But or I'm like Saw Gerrera, the same thing where they're like, oh, he can't breathe. Oh, he passed away. Like every time, it's just like a Darth Vader parallel. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it.
I think on that note,
Yeah, with that.
we're ready to end for the day.
Yeah, we should end this.
Um,
So
Yeah. If you
No, I am not gatekeeping Chopper. I only said that
for our first sentences.
So sorry,
Gaslight,
everyone.
gatekeep, war crime.
We really need to get this chat feature out of Zoom because
Yeah.
we're unhinged.
Anyways, Jess, would you like to do the outro?
yeah, so thank you so much for listening to episode 2 of RuPaul's Pod Race. We're so happy you joined us. Going forward, we're looking to have episodes posted on Sunday. Follow our social media, at RuPaul's Pod Race on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I sound so fake, honestly. But yeah, we'll see you next week for another episode. May the force be with you, and don't gripe it up.
Waka waka.
Ha